I awakened as a triple SSS plague, but my classmates laughed at me, calling me a fake and a waste. All because this is a world where everyone has a spirit. Everyone can develop and raise their own minions using land resources to gain the power to conquer worlds. But my territory was just a piece of polluted land. Forget raising minions. Even growing crops was nearly impossible. But just when I thought there was no way out, I was shocked to find I had two insane talents: the Plague God's Godhood and the SSS Trap. SSS Trap. This talent sacrifices offerings to void and grants unexpected benefits. The Plague God's Godhood. This talent, when it infects living beings, as long as the being dies, it automatically becomes your minion. So a crazy idea popped into my head. Release a plague to turn the living into my minions. The more it spreads, the more I get. And eventually unlimited armies spawn. Combined with the SSS, it's gonna be insane. Next second, the contract floated up into the air, turned into little sparks and vanished in front of everyone. And news about the contract duel with Zhengtian spread like wildfire. Tons of students and teachers opened the live system to watch. Meanwhile, in the principal's office, Principal Jibu was watching the fight and sipping his tea casually. That's my top student for you. Not letting your uncle down. Once you beat Linmo's lord and take over his new devour ability, getting into the Four Holy Academy is basically guaranteed. But in the principal's office, Liu Hui frowned without realizing it, his face looking complicated. The school has an alarm system. Logically, when Zhengtian pulled out the contract, Principal Jibu should have noticed and stopped it right away. Why didn't he stop it? On the other side, the moment the contract took effect, Zhengtian and I were both dragged into our own territories. Then a huge portal connected both territories. Zhengtian chose to strike first. Next moment, 100 orcish blade wielders charged into my territory, followed by 50 orcish tier 2 archers, and 3 rock-based hill giants. The students and teachers watching the fight all gasped. No way, tier 3 hill giants. Zhengtian even recruited hill giants. That's insane. Orcish archers are tier 2 ranged units, plus 3 tier 3 hill giants. Linmo's doomed for sure. Zhengtian, listening to the gasps around him, couldn't hide the joy on his face and sneered, "Waste Linmo. I'm telling you, just surrender now. Maybe I'll go easy on you." Seeing that I was ignoring him, Zhengtian let out a cold snort, then immediately gave the order to attack. Soon, dozens of orc slaves stopped carts loaded with boulders in front of the mountain giants. 3 mountain giants kept grabbing boulders and hurling them at my camp. Boom! The boulders slammed against the walls with a dull thud. One of them even crushed 3 axe wielders to bits. Then, the moment 300 raging hounds appeared, everyone gasped. Especially Maho, who even jumped up from the ground. What the hell? These are my hound army. How is Linmo controlling my hound army? The students in the class exchanged confused looks. Okay. Someone immediately pointed out the issue. Look at these raging hounds, they're covered in wounds. They don't look alive. Could they be corpses raised by a necromancer? Linmo's territory has a high-tier necromancer? No way. Only lords above tier 3 can recruit necromancer. Plus there's no soulfire in these hounds' eye sockets. While everyone was making wild guesses, the zombie hounds started closing in on Zhengtian's forces. Zhengtian let out another cold snort, then ordered the orc marksmen and mountain giants to attack. Under a hail of arrows, large swaths of zombie hounds were instantly taken down. The mountain giants kept hurling boulders. Each throw shattered 7 or 8 zombie hounds. In the end, only about a dozen of the 300 zombie hounds broke into Zhengtian's marksman ranks. Then they self-destructed. The damage was low. Only a dozen orc marksmen got slightly injured in the blasts. Haha. You think these scrubs can take on my army? Idiot Linmo, blowing up your own minions? That's just dumb. But before Zhengtian could finish, a dark figure on the wall drew a bow fully. Spiral air currents formed around the arrow. Wind-piercing arrow. The next arrow shot out with a whistling sound, hitting a mountain giant right in the eye socket. The mountain giant let out a muffled roar. Holy crap. Linmo has a spirit hero. The watching teachers and students all turned to look at Linmo's wall. There on the wall, a gray-white elven hero was knocking an arrow. What kind of spirit is he? Who's ever seen that? It's not in any textbook. Could it be an undiscovered spirit? One arrow took down 3 mountain giants. No ordinary spirit could pull that off. At least journey to the west tier. Back in the principal's office, Liu Hui watched Linmo's spirit. A hint of excitement flashed in her eyes. As an 8-rank Grand Spirit Master, her experience far outweighed these high schoolers. One look and she knew it was a real epic spirit. Spirit Master ranks go from 1 to 9, with every 3 ranks marking a big tier. The first 3 are Novice Spirit Masters. The middle 3 are Spirit Masters. Ranks 6 to 9 are Grand Spirit Masters. Every 3 ranks you can summon 1 extra spirit into your territory. What does an epic spirit even mean? Even the super geniuses at Imperial Dragon Academy, who get an epic spirit before advancing to Spirit Master, are rare as hen's teeth. And Linmo started with an epic spirit right off the bat. No wonder Liu Hui was so hyped. Right now in the territory battle, Zheng Tian saw a high-quality spirit inside my and his eyes lit up with excitement. He ordered the remaining 2 mountain giants to attack the Dark Ranger. Huge rocks flew toward the Dark Ranger, but there wasn't a trace of panic in his cold gaze. Instead he dodged the boulders with uncanny agility. Soon, the Windbreaker sword cooldown finished. The Windbreaker swordsman instantly plunged into the mountain giant's eye socket. The second mountain giant crashed to its knees, completely out of fight. Zheng Tian's heart was bleeding. His gaze toward me grew darker. It's over. It's over. What's over? Zheng Tian was stunned. Then, the 2 mountain giants still on one knee suddenly stood up. As they rose, a dark green slime oozed from their bodies in plain sight. Mirror venom is the giant's attack. A rock giant with a poison-type swordsman effect. It's super infectious. I took a look at the poison giant's description. A small smile crept across my face. The next second I ordered the poison giant to attack. Both poison giants raised their hands, then slammed them down hard on the orc axes below. After 2 huge booms, 10 axes were instantly killed. What's going on? That's Zheng Tian's mountain giant. How is it Lin Mu's minion? The scariest part is, after becoming Lin Mu's minion, the rock giant seems even stronger. Just then, the last mountain giant tried to attack the poison giant. But as soon as he raised his arm, the wind swordman dug into his eye socket. Then a third poison rock giant slowly stood up from the ground. After that the axes killed by the poison giants also got up. In no time the battle became one-sided. Zheng Tian's team was completely broken. Right now in Director Ji's office, Director Zheng watched the brutal fight. He lost his grip on a teacup and it shattered on the floor. His face looked awful. He pulled up Lin Mu's info. No way. Lin Mu really has no background or strength, he's a total nobody. How does he have such creepy minions? Turning enemy troops straight into his own? This ability is even crazier than Wang Lin's and 7 Lords. The next moment Director Zheng got up from his desk and walked toward Class 3-2 of senior year. At the same time, Lu Hui in the principal's office also stood up and said to the principal's secretary, let's go. Head to Class 3-2 of senior year. I want to meet student Lin Mu in person. Let's go back to the Lord's battle. The infection speed of the plague was just too fast. By the time Zheng Tian came to his senses, all his minions had already turned into zombies. Watching the army he worked so hard to build now become Lin Mu's troops, Zheng Tian's face was as dark as it could get. Right then I smirked slightly. But this still wasn't the final payoff. I narrowed my eyes and immediately sent out all the spirit warriors and elven poison archers inside the walls. All minions, listen up. Launch a total assault on the enemy's territory. The moment the words left my mouth, Zheng Tian's face suddenly changed big time. He screamed, damn it, Lin Mu. Are you out of your mind? Get your cursed minions out of my territory now, or I'll never recruit you again. I let out a cold laugh. Let me tell you some good news. My minions have found the location of the Forest Lord core. Weren't you yelling about smashing my Forest Lord core? Well, now I'm gonna do the same. Hearing what I said, Zheng Tian's face turned pale. No. It's my fault. I was wrong. I deserve to die. Please don't shatter my Forest Lord core. I'll be a cripple. Heh. A loser like you who only picks on the weak is better off being useless. I gave a cold laugh and immediately ordered the attack on the Forest Lord core. Right then, a cold voice rang out from outside the classroom. Lin, stop right there. Lin Mu, you maliciously attacked another student's Forest Lord core. That's a serious offense. Tianhai doesn't need students like you. From now on, you're expelled. Don't bother coming to the college entrance exam tomorrow. Upon hearing this, the students around immediately showed scared expressions. They never expected Director Ji to show up and straight up expel Lin Mu. Sure, contract duels break school rules, but it was Zheng Tian who started this fight. Facing Director Ji's threats, I let out a cold snort and directly activated Flesh Blast. The zombies that had been furiously attacking the Forest Lord core exploded instantly. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Zheng Tian's Forest Lord core shattered with a bang. The next second, Zheng Tian's face went pale, his body went limp and he fell to the ground, twitching occasionally. You're asking for it? Zheng Dong charged at me with murderous intent, but just as Zheng Dong was about to force an invasion war, a cold voice came from the door. Director Zheng, quite the authority you're throwing around. Then Principal Lu Hui walked in with a cold glare, her eyes shooting at Zheng Dong like steel blades. Her grade 8 Forest Lord aura burst out instantly. Zheng Dong shivered all over and immediately lowered his head. Principal Liu, please let me explain. But Lu Hui cut him off with disgust. Sheltering your nephew who tried to devour other students' Forest Lord cores? You're done as director. Pack your stuff and get out right now. Also expel Zheng Tian and his little gang. Lu Hui's next words made the bullies feel like they fell into an ice cave. The bullies were truly terrified. They immediately burst into ugly crying without caring about their image. If it weren't for what happened today, I wouldn't have realized how many scumbags came out from under Director Zheng. In the end, the conflict between me and Zheng Tian led the principal to step in, expel Zheng Dong, and wrap up Zheng Tian and his crew. After that, the principal called me to her office. Inside the office, Liu Hui's first bowed to me and apologized, saying it was her fault that I got bullied on campus. To make up for the mental damage, she'd give me a big material pack, 5,000 each of stone and wood, plus 1,000 finished iron ingots. Seeing the corner of my mouth curl up slightly, the market value of these materials was about 70 to 80,000 blue star coins, so it was a pretty fair compensation. Lin Mo, have you decided which university to apply for? That question really stumped me. Ever since I got transported here, I hadn't even thought about my college applications yet, so I said uncertainly, Four Saints Academy. Who knew Liu Hui would purse her lips slightly and shake her head, saying, Four Saints Academy only ranks in the top 60 among Dragon Kingdom's colleges, but your potential is way beyond that. Seeing the principal's serious tone, I immediately asked, Principal, do you have any recommendations? I suggest you go for the Imperial Dragon Academy. The Imperial Dragon Academy, the so-called monster tier #1 university in the Dragon Kingdom. Liu Hui saw me lost in thought, and explained, your potential is no weaker than those geniuses. I have faith in you. After leaving the principal's office, my mind was full of thoughts about applying to the Imperial Dragon Academy. Even though the Imperial Dragon Academy is tough to get into, if you make it in, your future is bright. In this world where spirit masters rule, you have to become a strong spirit master to live well. After thinking it over seriously, I made up my mind to go for the Imperial Dragon Academy. With that thought, I took out the light orb I got from Zheng Tian and the others, focused my mind, and opened it. Gained Essence of Nothingness 1 volume. Gained 5,000 resource stones, 5,000 wood, 3,000 iron ore, 500 gold. Bonus rank Spirit Master skill Sleeper's Whisper. Bonus item Nothingness location scroll. That kid Zheng Tian had a B rank skill, why didn't he use it? Confused, I opened the skill description. B rank Spirit Master skill Sleeper's Whisper. After activating this skill, you'll find it easier to persuade wild units to become your followers. So the Sleeper's Whisper is actually a support skill. No wonder Zhengshan could recruit a level 3 mountain giant and a bunch of orc strongbow archers. It's all because of this skill. Then I focused on the second extra item. It was a scroll recording the coordinates of the void. The void coordinates scroll showed a tiny island floating in the void. You could see traces of some stone giants and orc soldiers on it. So that's where Zhengshan's troops came from. I licked my lips. After tonight, I'm gonna turn every creature on this island into my minions. I casually absorbed Zhengshan's void origin. I opened my Spirit Lord panel. Looking at my somewhat messy panel, I waved my hand and triggered the sacrifice. All zombies below tier 2 were wrapped in white flames and turned to ash. The minion panel instantly looked a lot cleaner. Phew. That feels good. Then I rubbed my hands together with anticipation. Let's see what good stuff the sacrifice gave me this time. Ding. Got the blueprint for a flesh clone machine. The flesh clone machine lets you put same level warriors into it and clone same level melee or ranged units. The host can also integrate certain traits into it. If integration succeeds, the clone will carry that trait. This machine is insane. My eyes flickered. I can totally design the cannon fodder into whatever units I need. But the biggest use of the flesh clone machine is converting high-level combat units. Low-level cannon fodder isn't worth converting. If there are too many, sacrificing for draws is still the better option. Building one flesh clone machine costs 400 refined iron ingots and stone, plus 5,000 units each of wood. With my current resources, I can barely build 2 flesh clone machines. After building the cloners, I threw zombie goblin warriors and orc strongbow archers into the machine for conversion. The converted units turned into tier 2 zombie warriors and tier 2 zombie archers. Phew. Now that's really satisfying. I happily exited my territory, then went to find a restaurant to grab a meal. Right after that, I grabbed my backpack and left that freezing place. Then I hurried over to the Lord Exchange. Tomorrow is the national exam. One of the most important turning points in a regular student's life. Right now I'm just a poor kid with no money or power. To change my fate in this world where lords rule everything, I have to seize this chance at the national exam. Get into a good university. Only with the university's resources can I gradually get stronger. I gotta hurry up now. Improve myself as much as I can. At the exchange, I put the materials I got from my cousin on the trading counter. 100 gold and 300 iron ore sold for 30,000 blue star coins. All the miscellaneous building blueprints sold for 5,000 blue star coins. The C-rank Lord skill Battlecry is currently the hottest item. It caught the eye of several lords instantly. But their offers were way too low. Trading now would definitely be a bad deal. But I'm not in a hurry either. Until it reaches my expected price, I'll reject every trade. While I'm at it, I go back into my lord's space again. Sort and organize the scrolls I have so far. Tidy things up a bit. Then I place the 2 newest buildings in my lord space in Jinzhou. One consumes 500 stone, 500 wood to build a graveyard. One consumes 300 stone, 300 wood to build a ghost summoning altar. Just as I was about to check the building descriptions, the system notification went off again. Because the land has been corrupted, the building's properties have changed. Defiled graveyard, corpses buried here won't be resurrected by holy class units, but the death energy inside the graveyard will better repair damaged corpses. Defiled ghost summoning altar. Most ghosts think this altar is too filthy. They won't answer the altar's call. Looking at the new building descriptions, I fell into deep thought. I read the defiled graveyard description again to myself. I buried an elite poison archer with a missing right hand in the graveyard. A few minutes in the real world, 3 hours had passed in the spirit land. When the elite poison archer crawled out of the graveyard again, his right arm was fully restored. This isn't a graveyard at all. It's like a holy spring of resurrection. I got super excited instantly. My zombie army is strong, but they can't repair themselves. That's a huge weakness. Now with the defiled graveyard, my troops can heal their injuries in it. I sent all tier 2 units into the graveyard to rest and recover. Then I started checking out the second new building. Defiled ghost summoning altar. According to the building description, since my summoning altar is desecrated, most spirits don't want to answer the call. Does that mean it'll be hard to get spirit units early on? With mixed feelings, I still opened the altar. The next second, a purple phantom appeared in the center of the spirit summoning platform. Pointy elf ears, but dark gray skin. Dark Ranger Sylvanas. Epic. Godly. Originally a high elf general, then turned by the dark news cycle into a lone wolf roaming between life and death, always craving battle. Level 1. Gains experience from combat to level up skills: Windbreaking Blade, Rain of Swords, Silence Spell, Spirit Aura, Strong Strike Aura, and Sniper Talent. Then another godly spirit summoning. The spirit also gained the ability to infect everything. Dark Ranger Xiao He. Epic quality. I was stunned. Spirit quality is divided into common, rare, elite, epic, and legendary. In the newbie phase, even summoning an elite spirit means you can get into any top university in Dragon Kingdom. But now my altar actually has an epic spirit. Maybe because the altar is desecrated, most normal spirits backed off. And only dark spirits are willing to come to my territory. Just then a very polite voice snapped me back to reality. Hey there, student. How much for that battle summon? Hello, sir. The current price is 200,000 blue star coins, or trade for an equivalent item. I only brought 150,000 blue star coins. How about this skill, do you need it? The uncle with glasses then showed me a Lord skill crystal. D rank Lord skill. Flesh Explosion. Uses a high roll body to deal area damage equal to its full strength level. The moment I saw this skill, my heart started racing uncontrollably. I can't believe it's Flesh Explosion. There are still hundreds of zombie militiamen in my territory that I don't know what to do with. If I use them to self-destruct, not only can I deal massive damage to enemies, but it also causes large-scale infection. Forcing down the excitement, I gave the uncle the most definite answer. Deal done. I directly crushed the skill crystal. I tested it out with a zombie militia member. The explosion was as powerful as a grenade. The moment it blew, the zombie's skeleton shattered like shrapnel, blasting everything within a 15-foot radius. Then, I spent the remaining 200,000 blue star coins on materials for my territory. Looking at my territory, which was already taking shape, I felt a lot more at ease. Just then, my phone suddenly rang. I opened it. Police college entrance exam, return to school before 2 p.m. for final preparations. My eyes narrowed. I immediately headed toward the school. Back on campus, a juicy piece of news was spreading. Did you hear? Lin Jian dropped out. I heard it's because he started a lord thing with Lin Mo. The battle, Lin Ju and Jin Bei got wrecked. Isn't Lin Mu a total loser? How could that be? Who knows? Lin Jian kinda bowed out. When he was signing up, his mom was crying while telling the grade director that, just as I showed up in the classroom, a sharp mocking voice reached my ears. I frowned a little, and looked toward where the voice came from. A few male students were gathered together, staring at me with pretty contemptuous looks. The skinny guy with a pointy face is called Monkey, the infamous lackey of Class 2 Grade 3, and the one across from him is called Gentian. The leader of the little clique, he's usually the one who used to bully the previous me. The moment I saw them, the previous me's memories flooded back. In my own class, kneeling in front of other students, getting beaten up in the bathroom, even having to hand over the money from my part-time job to them. These scumbags. My eyes turned a bit cold. I quietly went back to my seat. Waited for about 10 minutes or so. The homeroom teacher came into the class and went through the exam schedule and rules for tomorrow. He finished an hour later. Then the homeroom teacher left the classroom, leaving the rest of the time for the students to chat freely. But the next second, Monkey grabbed me by the collar from behind like we were old pals. With a slight pull, a choking feeling spread from my neck. My gaze turned cold. I shot an elbow right into Monkey's chest. Monkey winced in pain and quickly let go of his arm. Then he said angrily, "You little punk, you dare to fight back. You think just because you beat up Lin Jian, you're good enough to be our school's top dog? Who the hell does Lin Jian think he is?" Then I gave a cold snort. "And who the hell do you think you are?" Monkey's face turned red and pale with anger. Especially since a lot of students were looking over. It made him lose face even more. So he turned to Zheng Tian and shouted, "Tian, this kid won't listen to discipline. I think his skin is itching for a beating. How about we take care of him?" Zheng Tian crossed his arms, acting like a big shot. "Monkey, we're Lin Zhu now. Do we really need to get our hands dirty on a loser?" Monkey's eyes lit up. After becoming Lin Zhu, if two people get into a dispute, you can initiate a territory duel. If the dispute gets too heated, you can even sign a battle contract. Of course, after signing the contract, both sides are allowed to destroy each other's Lord Core and plunder each other's resources. It's basically a fight to the death. At this point, Monkey was put on the spot. He just stared at me coldly and said, "A loser like you dares to talk back to me? Don't you believe my Raging Hound army will tear your territory apart?" I smirked. "Raging Hounds, huh? No wonder you're famous at Tianhai Academy for being a lackey. Even your minions match your style." My words successfully pissed off Monkey. He widened his eyes and yelled, "Damn it, Lin Mu. I think you're asking for trouble. You dare to duel me? If you don't, kneel down and call me Grandpa right now." "Fine. Let's fight then. Do we need to sign a battle contract?" Just then, the students around couldn't help but start cheering. "Monkey, aren't you always saying your hound army is unstoppable? Now's the time to show it off." Right as Monkey was hesitating, Zheng Tian sneered, "What are you scared of? If you lose, I'll teach this loser a lesson for you." Since Zheng Tian said that, Monkey gritted his teeth. "Since you're asking for death, let's go." The Lord duel began. The classroom had a light screen to watch the duel. After the two entered their territories, all the students looked up to watch. At that moment, a full 300 Raging Hounds quickly gathered in Monkey's territory. Seeing so many Raging Hounds in Monkey's territory, the students gasped in surprise. Even though Monkey usually seemed lazy, he really didn't slack off on his minions. 300 Raging Hounds should secure him a spot in a mid-tier school, right? Raging Hounds are highly mobile. I wonder if Lin Mu can handle it. Hearing the crowd's chatter, Monkey felt proud and couldn't help but roar, "Raging Hound army, charge into Lin Mu's territory and tear apart everything he has." The next moment, 300 hounds swarmed out, quickly flooding into my land. Seeing the hound army run for a while without encountering any resistance, Monkey couldn't help but smirk contemptuously. "Stupid Lin Mu. Why aren't you putting up a fight? Scared of my hound army?" Just as Monkey was smugly thinking he had this in the bag, a 2-meter-long arrow shot out from the fog of war. It only stopped after piercing through 4 hounds. "That's a wall-mounted crossbow." A sharp-eyed student recognized the arrows right away. A wall-mounted crossbow costs 10,000 blue star coin. Where did Lin Mu get the money to buy one? Before anyone could react, a few more arrows shot out from the fog. In just that short time, Mahao's hound army had already lost over a dozen. "Damn it. Kill them all. Charge into their territory." But, as the fog slowly cleared, a 10-foot-tall white wall appeared on the screen. On top of the wall, besides the wall-mounted crossbow, there were dozens of elven archers. Arrows rained down like a storm, killing over a dozen hounds instantly. Mahou couldn't believe his eyes. "Lin Mu, how do you even have a wall? Without heavy siege equipment? Breaking into the wall is super tough. This is just a waste of effort." In just a few seconds of hesitation, the rain of arrows had already killed nearly 50 rage hounds. I looked at the dark oil cloud hiding in the back, and a slight smile curled at the corner of my mouth. As an epic class hero, with the strong aura and archer talent auras, the first-tier elven archer's combat power was close to second-tier troops. Right then, Zheng Tian's voice snapped Mahou out of it. "What are you waiting for? Retreat now. You want the archers to wipe you out?" Mahou frantically gave the order to pull back. But the next second, from underground in the area where the rage hounds were, over 100 zombie militia crawled out of the dirt. They were broken and battered. Many didn't even have arms, looking totally useless in a fight. Seeing enemies appear, the rage hounds lunged at them with claws and fangs. But the next second, I activated the Lord skill, blood explode. Then those zombie militia exploded violently. Nearly 100 zombies blew up together, causing terrifying damage. In just a few seconds, the rage hounds took heavy losses. Now less than a quarter of them were left. Mahou's face was pale, and he couldn't stop shaking uncontrollably. The classroom was dead silent. The students watching the battle had their eyes wide open. Isn't Lin Mu the school's recognized loser? How did he suddenly get so strong? Where did his wall and archers come from? And why could his vassal lord hide underground? At that moment, the berserk hounds that survived the explosion on the territory, they didn't escape my land either. They all dropped to the ground. With that, the battle was over. Monkey looked like his soul had been sucked out, and he fell on his butt to the ground. It's over. Totally over. Tomorrow's college entrance exam is screwed. Next second, Zhengjin walked up with a smug look on his face. Heh. Lin Mu, didn't expect you'd be this hard on yourself, blowing up your own vassals, just to take out Monkey's army. You don't have many troops left in your territory now, do you? You dare to have a contract battle with me? The winner gets the loser's loot. Monkey, lying on the ground, he snapped back to his senses, and gave me a vicious glare. Bro Tien, take this punk down for me. If he screws me over, you can't let him off easy either. And at that moment, I was splitting off part of my consciousness inside the territory, staring at the hounds' corpses. They all opened their eyes now, and got up from the ground. A full 300 zombie dogs. The territory's combat power just took a huge leap. Now Zhengjin can't wait to deliver supplies to me. And I sneered, then quickly scribbled my signature on the contract. Thinking about it, I slapped the only building I had right onto the territory. Enemy refugee camp deployed successfully. Now producing 5 population worth of refugees a day. The high refugee camp got contaminated. 0 deaths in the refugee city. Right now a small smirk crept onto my face. Plague God activated. The next second, a faint green mist engulfed the refugee camp. Then the dead refugees all opened their eyes at once. Zombie refugees, infected, their nails and teeth are crawling with germs. Super infectious. Looking at my first batch of minions now, I immediately opened a portal, and sent them over to the newbie continent. Once they entered the newbie continent, I controlled the zombie refugees to scout around. Soon they ran into a goblin squad. Those little green monsters swung their clubs, and in no time smashed the zombie refugees into mush. The zombie refugees were ridiculously many. But luckily they finished their job before getting wiped out. 2 goblins now had scratch marks on their arms. For such minor injuries, the goblins didn't care. After a quick patrol they headed back to the nest. Time sped up to night. Inside the goblin nest, hundreds of goblins were huddled together fast asleep. Suddenly 2 goblins opened their eyes. Their gray-white pupils held no life. Clearly they'd been infected with the zombie virus. Then without hesitation they lunged at the ones next to them. Sharp teeth tore through their friend's throat in an instant. The screams woke up every goblin. But the zombie virus spread so fast there was no stopping it. Soon wails echoed through the entire nest. Half an hour later, the whole nest fell silent again. Zombie goblin 1 kill count 64. Infected normal goblins, their sharp nails are packed with deadly germs. Zombie goblin warrior 2 kill count 5. Infected goblin warriors, losing their pain they become way stronger. So this is the power of the plague god? Only an hour had passed so far. And I already had a zombie goblin army. Then I teleported some of them back to my territory, and left the rest to keep scouting the forest. The infection spread like crazy. 1 infects 2, 2 infect 4. The goblins that got taken out would get back up as bloodthirsty zombies. Soon the zombie goblins kept increasing, until they reached 300. And the zombie goblin warriors I sent back hit 50. After a few rounds of fighting, the strength of my territory took a huge leap forward. But those 300 normal zombie goblins, after a long fight, most of them are already torn apart. Some zombie goblins are even missing arms and legs. They can only crawl on the ground. As for these weaklings, I didn't plan on bringing them back to my domain, so I gathered all the zombie goblins together. Then I activated the SS skill sacrifice skill description. Offer a tribute to the void evil god, and you'll receive unexpected rewards. The higher the value of the tribute, and the more abundant it is, the greater the rewards you'll get. White flames started rising under the feet of the 300 zombie goblins. The white flames silently burned them to ashes. The moment the ritual ended, I heard a notification sound in my ear. Sacrifice successful. Obtained rank Lord skill Bloodthirsty Frenzy. I got a skill. I was thrilled inside. I immediately checked the newly acquired skill Bloodthirsty Frenzy. Buff type Lord skill. It puts your minion units into a bloodthirsty state, drastically increasing their attack and movement speed. This skill consumes the minion unit's life force, so use it carefully. Right after that I casually summoned a zombie goblin warrior. I used Bloodthirsty Frenzy on it. Then I saw a faint glow spread over the zombie goblin warrior's skin. The usually dull zombie goblin started baring its teeth. It got super excited. After a few rounds of testing, this skill not only boosts the zombie goblin warrior's attack and movement speed, but it also doesn't consume any life force. The zombie goblin warriors in their berserk state, their attack power alone is close to that of tier 3 soldiers. Plus with their plague infection trait, they're totally not afraid to fight tier 3 soldiers either. But to prepare for tomorrow's big battle, I controlled the zombie goblin warriors to burrow into the ground and hide. Then I went back to reality and checked the time. It was still a few hours until dawn. Feeling a bit mentally drained, I fell asleep just like in my past life. But not long after, a loud harsh noise woke me up. You dead in there or what? Why aren't you opening the door? Hand over the domain core right now, or get the hell out of this house. I opened my eyes, and lightly opened the door. Then with a cold stare I walked straight into the living room, After that, my aunt threw a document at me. Sign this contract for a voluntary territory battle, and then let Xiao Jian take your Lord Core. You worthless piece of trash, this is all you're good for. Right then, standing beside me, Lin Jian said in a coy voice, Cousin, once I get your Lord Core, I'll definitely get a good score in this college entrance exam. And you'll get some credit for it too. Seeing Lin Jian's innocent-looking smile, I let out a cold snort. Every lord only has one territory core. If the core gets destroyed or taken, you'll lose your lord status completely. It's like having all your martial arts crippled and becoming a nobody. To that, I just curled the corner of my mouth. Perfect, I'll use you as my first fight after awakening. Right after that, I scribbled my name on the battle contract. The moment the contract was signed, it turned into tiny specks of light and vanished in front of everyone. Then, golden light started swirling around Lin Jian and me. Our consciousness was automatically teleported into the void. When I opened my eyes, I found myself floating above my own territory. And at the edge of the territory, there was a portal that looked like a wormhole. A sound came from the portal. A squad of 50 elven archers was coming out. The 3 at the front were especially strong. They were clearly second-tier elven archers. Lin Jian's arrogant laughter boomed from above the territory. Ha ha ha. My dear cousin, I've been looking forward to this day for so long. I can finally wreck your territory. Little sissy. How dare you mess with me? I'm getting impatient. Lin Jian screamed in anger, shouting, I hate being called a sissy the most. Elves, charge. Completely destroy Lin Mo's territory. The next second, the 50 elven archers rushed toward my lord and the gold bugs. Just then, under the lead elven archer's feet, green-skinned arms suddenly burst out of the dirt. The next second, goblin warriors grabbed the elven archers by their calves, ripping off big chunks of flesh. Before the elven archers could react, dozens of zombie goblin warriors sprang from the ground, slashing wildly at the surrounding elven archers. In seconds they took down dozens of elven archers. Fall back. Reform your battle formation. Lin Jian gritted his teeth, and then pulled more troops from his territory. 50 peasants carrying hoes ran out of the portal. Damn you, Lin Mo! You forced my hand. Use 4th-tier lord skill. Battle cry. The next second, those peasants who had been holding hoes, covered by a flash of golden light, quickly turned into militiamen in simple armor. The surviving 20 elven archers moved behind the militia line. Elven archers, focus fire on those damn goblins. There's no way these stupid goblins can break through the militia line. On the other side, I watched Lin Jian regroup his forces, and curled the corners of my mouth. I didn't even have to go looking for a fight. And you came to me. What a good little cousin you are. Right then, the elven archers killed by the zombie goblin warriors stood back up. Elven poison archers 20. Swordsmen with golden robes and poison blood zombie archers. Deadly poison swordsmen can infect distant enemies. The next moment, Lin Jian's pupils shrank to pinpricks, and his whole body felt like it was dropped into an ice cellar. His scalp went instantly numb. He actually saw the dead elven archer get back up from the ground. Not only did she come back to life, but she also became one of Lin Mo's units. Lin Jian gritted his teeth. He immediately ordered the elven archers to counterattack. After a not-so-dense volley of arrows landed in Lin Mo's camp, only a handful of zombie archers were killed. Then I ordered the elven poison archers to shoot their arrows. The arrows hit the militia camp and instantly caused massive casualties. Then the dead militia got back up from the ground. They opened their bloody mouths and lunged at the nearby militia. The militia camp instantly fell into chaos. Lin Jian's pupils suddenly shrank. He screamed like crazy. How is this possible? This is insane. Lin Mo, how did you do this? Why are your followers so weird? What did you do to your territory? But no matter how bitterly Lin Jian screamed, I didn't give a damn. You gotta pull the weeds by the roots. First I'll destroy his territory. The next moment, Lin Jian called all his followers to retreat to his territory. And that retreat made the already chaotic battlefield even messier. The militia that couldn't get away in time were instantly killed by the zombie goblin warriors. By the time Lin Jian pulled his troops back to his territory, only 15 elven archers were left. The militia suffered heavy losses too. Lin Jian's heart was bleeding at this point. All the followers he worked so hard to raise were gone. And the college entrance exam is tomorrow. If this keeps up, he might not even make it to the exam. Lin Jian forced back his hatred and said, Let's stop here. Lin Mo, I underestimated you before. I admit you're strong. I'll tell my mom to let you keep living in this house. I'll still treat you like my cousin, okay? Just stop already. Lin Jian was begging for mercy. I let out a cold laugh. I knew full well that Lin Jian still looked down on me in his heart. I couldn't help but recall what happened before from the original story. After my uncle passed away, my aunt took over. At first, she was pretty restrained. She only talked, didn't hit. But Lin Jian kept egging her on and saying bad things. That's when my aunt started beating the old me. There was even a time when Lin Jian deliberately cut his own wrist, and then said Lin Mo did it. He even threw a dead cat into Lin Mo's room. and threatened him to take care of his pets. Thinking about all that happened to me before, only coldness remained in my heart. Then I transferred my consciousness to Lin Jian's territory. Almost 30 zombie militia poured out of the portal. Right behind them were zombie goblin warriors and poison archers. Lin Jian's face instantly went pale at the sight. He let out a nearly shrieking scream. "Get them into my territory! You idiot, Lin Mo! What the hell are you doing?" I wasn't about to waste words on him. I activated my B-rank Lord skill Blood Feast straight away. A dark red blood light instantly covered the zombie troops. Then they swarmed like crazy into Ling Jin's Lord Core. Once the zombie troops were inside, the entire camp had no fight left in it. I quickly found Ling Jian's Lord Core. "Stop. No more fighting. I surrender. Lin Mo, cousin, I give up. I'll be your servant, anything you want. I'll agree to anything. Please don't destroy my Lord Core. Without it, I'm useless. My life will be ruined." "When you were after my Lord Core, did you think about my life?" I let out a cold laugh, and immediately ordered a full assault. Hundreds of zombies attacked the Lord Core. Cracks spread rapidly across it. Then with a loud bang, Ling Jian's Lord Core shattered. A golden light flew out of the crystal debris. I waved my hand in the air, and grabbed the light. This light held all the power of a rank 1 lord and some stored resources. I opened it without hesitation. Gained Void Essence level 1. Gained resources 1000 stone, 800 lumber, 300 iron ore, 100 gold. Gained blueprints. Wooden wall blueprint. Wooden watchtower blueprint. Poultry farm blueprint. Bonus C-rank Lord skill battle recruit. On top of that, this battle added 100 zombie villagers and 40 elven poison archers to my territory. Pretty lucky, I actually got Ling Jian's Lord skill to drop. Even though it's just a C-rank skill, it'll still sell for a good price at the market. Then I placed the Void Essence into my own Lord Core. My Lord level successfully rose to 2. My territory expanded from 10 square kilometers to 20. And I unlocked 2 territory buildings. Open the status bar. Lin Mo, second class Lord. Territory area, 20 square kilometers. Subordinates zombie goblins. Warriors, 49. Elf poison archers, 3. Elf poison archers 40. Zombie villagers, 87. Buildable buildings new cemetery. Hero summoning altar. Contaminated land. This is a land without hope. Most rescue efforts are futile. Lord skill bloody pleasure. Note: passive skills are not part of the Lord panel. Now the panel actually looks like something. I let out a long breath, feeling refreshed. As the battle time agreed in the contract ended, I withdrew from the void territory and returned to reality. Right when I got back I saw Ling Jian crying his eyes out in his mom's arm. My aunt had a fierce look on her face. Harsh scolding kept coming. "Lin Mo, you're so cruel. Why did you destroy my son's territory? He's useless now. Don't you know that?" Ling Jian looked at me with a face full of resentment. The next second he charged at me like he didn't care if he died. I wasn't gonna go easy on him. I directly stomped on Ling Jian's stomach. Ling Jian's face instantly turned purple. He curled up on the ground in pain. In my memory my aunt never missed a chance to abuse me. Thinking about how my past self was beaten black and blue, I kicked Ling Jian a couple more times hard. My aunt was scared pale. She could only hold her precious son with a pained look. Then I coldly glanced at the mother and son. From this moment on, Lin Mo will never set foot in this place again.